Welcome to the shit show. That's not copyright infringement, is it? No, I think you're pretty good. You didn't sing.
Hello and welcome to Men Behind the Curtain, the podcast about everything and nothing all at once. I am Pitt.
I'm Eli. Hope y'all are doing well. We also do have another guest with us this week. This is going to be a first time on the show.
We're popular.
This is somebody that I've actually met on TikTok, but we've just kind of gotten to be mutuals. Like we're, basically social media friends. But without further ado, we have, and some of y'all might recognize this guy, I know him as DTBro, but as you can see, his name here is Dustin. How's it going, man?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here, Dustin.
Yeah. I did tell him a little bit about like how our show typically goes. Like mostly we just nerd out for about an hour, but we might talk about news, politics, and we're gonna call somebody a name at some point.
We're gonna call him a cunt.
I'm good with it.
All right, so a lot of shit happening this week. A lot of fucking shit. And I'm gonna start with one of the most fucking obvious things because we are gonna get cunt of the fucking week out of the way. Okay. We all know Bad Bunny is playing the Super Bowl for this year. Now, we have all the fucking maggots that are up in arms because Bad Bunny is, and I'm going to put this in the Tangerine Tyrant's way, Puerto Rican.
Jesus Christ.
So Bad Bunny is from Puerto Rico. Now, a little bit of a history lesson for those of you that out there who have never studied history or anything like that. Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, which means they are technically the sovereign state of the United States and practically the 51st state, which meaning all those from Puerto Rico are U.S. citizens. Now, what has all these maggots upset is the fact that they're bringing somebody in to perform at the Super Bowl who is not a U.S. citizen. See the problem here? Now, I've compiled a list. Yes, I've got to go pull this up. Let's look at the past performers of the Super Bowl, and we're just going to go, last 10, 15 years. So we all know maggots are upset because, Bad Bunny. Anyway, first off, we have Rihanna. Guess what? Not a U.S. citizen. Shakira, not a U.S. citizen. Check this out. Coldplay, not U.S. citizens. The Who, not U.S. citizens. The Rolling Stones, not U.S. citizens. Paul McCartney, one of the Beatles, not a U.S. citizen. U2, not U.S. citizens. But Bad Bunny,
I'm okay with that
what?
one.
Bad Bunny is a U.S. citizen. Now, again, we can probably go on.
So we can be clear. All those things, all those non-U.S. citizens that nobody had a problem with them, they're all white.
Almost. I mean, there was Rihanna.
Almost.
Yeah.
But they're almost all entirely white. Like that. This is the problem. It's because he's brown.
Now, and let's add into this bullshit with Mr. fucking Secretary of my ass, Pete Hegseth, telling people that we can't have fat generals anymore and you can't have a fucking beard. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to throw a twist on there that most people out there don't know about, particularly those of my particular skin shade. There are certain, and Eli can attest to this, so there are Black people out there who actually have a condition when they actually will shave will actually cause some kind of follicle disorder with bumps and stuff like that. It's painful and other things of that nature. However, the way Hegseth put it forth, is this not an attack on those of Black heritage?
Well, one of my favorite things about that, he spent this whole thing talking about the warrior ethos, and there's going to be certain standards. This motherfucker can't do 2 pull-ups.
Well, it's interesting because you bring up the warrior ethos, and we talk about, everybody knows I'm Norse pagan and stuff like that. What were the Norse known for, other than raiding and pillaging and stuff like that? Their beards, okay? Warrior ethos. I mean, fucking Klingons have facial hair, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Did Hegseth ever serve? I'm just curious.
He did. I did look it up. But he did not get. He got as high as Benson Winifred Payne. He's a fucking major,
but not as cool. Well, it doesn't matter. I mean, yes, he may have been in the military. I mean, even fucking JD Bowman has a claim the fact to be in the United States military or some in some way, shape, or form. However, just because you serve in the military doesn't mean you know a goddamn thing about what's going on in the military. Why don't you let the people who actually do the serving actually go out, put their lives on the line, and do what they can for the freedoms of, well, the freedoms that we're losing in this country. Let them decide on whether or not they can have fucking facial hair or be 10 pounds over the fucking weight limit. Rant over. There's my cunts of the week.
um, yeah, and so one thing I do want to point out real quick, just with that fucking convention they had last week, they're lucky that we in the US somehow believe that we're a higher standard or we're better or something like that. I'm not advocating for any kind of political violence. Let me make that clear. But there are some countries in the world where that conference, one of the generals would get his hands dirty at this point. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. You could not have that kind of conference in Italy. You couldn't have it in Russia. You sure as hell can't have that in China. These are countries that the military leaders are the glue that are keeping it together, and the audacity obviously knows no bounds with this administration. But I think the thing that gets me is that these are people. You have a president, Bone Spurs, who never served, Hegseth, who was a major, and I don't actually think saw any combat or was in any kind of strategic capacity whatsoever. And we have to sit here and listen to them talk and berate our military leaders for saying you're not good enough when none of the administration was good enough to begin with. So it's this really weird dichotomy of I think I know better, and it's like I really want to put them on a plane that is malfunctioning just so they can fight to see how well. Oh no, I can fix this. I know how to fly a plane. This is easy.
Honestly,
I was gonna say I want to go on record saying that Kash Patel is a DEI hire. Just let that sink in, Mega.
And Pete is a DUI hire, so I'm not going to disagree with you if we're going to give Pete Hegseth cunt of the week. However, I do want to throw out an honorable mention. One of the people that they love to put up on a pedestal because she's pretty, Tomi Lahren. She's supposed to be fucking smarter than this, and she had to get fact checked that he was a U.S. citizen. Bad Bunny, I mean, like they like to just let it slide because she's blonde and she's pretty. She's still a fucking idiot, apparently.
Well, I mean, our president could have went and talked to their president in Puerto Rico to find out. Oh, wait, that's right.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm not gonna give you any pushback if we're gonna give it to Hegseth. But as always, like I said, Tomi Lahren, I'm gonna put her up there as an honorable mention. And then just like a permanent candidate, we just have Rowling. Actually, Rowling did do something pretty cunty this last week.
Yeah, and I would say that's my cunt of the week right there.
I forgot about that.
Dude, go into it, please, because we like to call her a cunt all the time.
Emma Watson went and did a podcast early in the week where she kind of talked about her career, and she talked about why she stepped away from film for the last 5 years. It was a very refreshing and honest and at times heartbreaking interview. And the subject of J.K. Rowling was brought up, and she's like, I don't want to dismiss that relationship that I formed with her while working on Harry Potter, but I just fundamentally disagree and do not, with her stance on trans rights. That was it. That was all she said. Right? Like it is literally 2 minutes of an hour and 20-minute interview. And J.K. Rowling goes off the deep end and says, oh, she's ignorant. She's an ignorant, so-and-so, and just went off for I want to say 45 minutes in some interview in response to Emma Watson. And that it's Emma and Daniel Radcliffe, and they're all just out to get her, and they're trying to shut her down, and how dare she call herself a feminist. And yeah, no, just unhinged dog shit. SNL even went so far last night as to do a Dobby skit to drag
I'll,
J.K. Rowling.
I'll have to look that up.
It was on the Weekend Update. It's pretty good.
Weekend
Well,
Update is usually a highlight of the show.
well, there
Yeah.
you go. J.K. Rowling continuing to remain a cunt.
but yeah, I find it weird because like you just said, like Emma Watson, she made a comment, she moved on. But Rowling, and I saw a post about it, and she's just fucking railing, and I'm like, why are you so fucking obsessed with? Well, I know part of what it is. She wants to be responsible for Emma's success. That's really what it amounts to. Like, okay, sure, it was your story. Maybe if you didn't have your story, we wouldn't know who she is. But two things can be true. Yes, she grew up wealthy. She doesn't know struggle. She doesn't have like all this life experience. That's not incorrect, but they're still people are still people. Like, for fuck's sake.
Yeah,
Yeah.
normally, typically, when you have such life experiences as Rowling has had, you usually come out in a better light, a little more accepting, because you recognize the hardships that not only you struggle, but you recognize the hardships that other people that struggle through. And for her to dismiss the fact that other people can have hardships, she's probably one of those people that actually think that she suffered the worst more than anybody else. And yeah, that's just continuing to make her a cunt.
Yeah, and Rowling actually, the quote on X was, like other people who've never experienced adult life uncushioned by wealth and fame, Emma has so little experience of real life, she's ignorant of how ignorant she is. Now, here's the thing. This is like, this is JK, first and foremost, going on Twitter. I'm not going to call it X anymore. I'm dead naming Twitter from here on out.
That's the only acceptable dead naming.
and JD Bowman.
And JD Bowman, yeah. Did that guy impregnate a couch yet? I want to know if he's the first.
You should see the video Stephen Colbert put up.
I did. I saw it. It was good.
I hear he has an ottoman on the way.
I figure it would be a Shea Lounger. Anyway, one of the things that I've learned since I've started working in film is that there should never be this trauma Olympics. Like, what you've been through in your life is not more or less than somebody else's trauma, right? Like, it's really exclusive to you. So for Rowling to say, oh, well, you've been wealthy and famous and you don't have any real life experience. Well, clearly she didn't watch the whole fucking interview, because then you hear all of Emma's whole life experience. It was a riveting watch. I highly recommend it. And she talks about like how she has trouble connecting with other people, and about how working on Harry Potter, it was a lot of a family, a communal thing. And then when she went to go work on other sets, these are people showing up for a job, and they're pushing for the next thing, to move up the ladder, to get to the next status level, to get more money, to get paid, like the actual grind of the entertainment industry. And it was disheartening for her, and the constant having to sell something, always having to spend 12 hours doing sales for a film that she shot months ago. And she has her own trauma and her own life that she lived with, her own experiences. And then Rowling's like, oh no, you didn't, those don't count. Those don't count. Your life doesn't actually count. Mine does, because I was on food stamps and I was on government assistance, and I wrote a story that is plagiarized from Star Wars and everything else, and the hero's journey over and over again. It is that complete lack of humanity from Rowling that makes her the cunt of the week for me.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I get, yeah, like from what the conversation we just had, like Rowling and Hegseth, like
it's close.
I'm giving them a fucking tie this week.
Yeah, it's a three-way tie. Three-way tie. You're all cunts.
You're all fucking cunts.
But actually, you just mentioned working with the film industry. I think I saw something on your Facebook a week or two ago. You went to a festival in Cincinnati.
Yeah, so I went down to a film festival in Cincinnati. It's called Independent Film Festival. It is mostly shorts, a handful of features, but it's a lot of local community independent film
Okay,
in out of Cincinnati. And the people who run it are just absolutely fantastic, and they allow you to connect with other filmmakers. They make it a point to have filmmakers mingle with just people who are enthusiasts or upcoming filmmakers or people who want to create something. So made a lot of really great connections there that led me to this last week. I signed on as an executive producer on a film we shoot later this month. It's a feature film. I can't really talk a lot about it until we're done with principal photography, but it's going to be a no names last film. um, so pretty excited about that. And then I'm going to probably be shooting my film next year in Los Angeles. So
nice.
it's that one, that one step into going to a film festival really opened up a lot of doors, opened up my mind to a lot of different possibilities. And if you're creative in any way who's interested in the film industry, go to a film festival, mingle, talk to people, talk about what you like, what you don't like, how things make you feel. It's an incredible experience.
Is this like a yearly film festival that they do?
Hmm.
Or
Yeah.
nice.
Okay.
Uh, about how many other filmmakers were out there with you?
Um, a bunch. So there were, I want to say somewhere in the neighborhood of like 40 or 50 shorts
Oh, wow.
and 4 or 5 feature films. Um, and it's after every section of shorts that's about 2 hours long, where you'll get like 5 or 6 shorts. Um, they bring the filmmakers on stage to talk about their films. Um, Not every filmmaker shows up, obviously, but there's a film out there right now called "A Do." It's a short film, and Sam Henderson is the director of it, and he was there for it. It's qualified for the Oscars. It's a brilliant short film about a teacher who is taking her high school class and having them do much ado about nothing. And so she's a theater teacher. And while they're doing rehearsal, a school shooter comes in.
Oh
Mm.
shit.
And it's an incredibly powerful and moving piece of cinema. Um, and talking with Sam and getting to know him on a personal level over that, and being able to have that connection with somebody who, honestly, this short film could be nominated for an Oscar, is just invaluable. And the amount of information and the amount of just kindness that he doesn't have to be nice to some random guy who has questions about filmmaking, but he was. And that's kind of the through line, is that everyone's extremely supportive at these kind of events and at these kind of festivals.
Very
Since it's
cool.
a yearly thing, if you happen to go next year, let me know because I don't even know that I would necessarily want to get in that world, but it just sounds like it would be interesting to go to and check out. Also, if you were driving to Cincinnati, you happen to go like within about 15 minutes of both of our houses, by the way.
Yeah.
Well, we'll discuss like logistics as to where everyone lives later, but yeah, I live up in the middle of nowhere, right in between Cleveland and Columbus.
Oh, like Worcester area.
Yeah, a little bit more west of Worcester, like
Okay.
Mansfield
Oh, yeah,
area.
that's definitely in the middle of
Yeah,
nowhere.
yeah. It's middle of nowhere. Everything is falling apart and crumbling down. But I will tell you this: there are some very cinematic pieces around here to shoot at. But yeah, no, it's a wonderful, wonderful. I'm learning now. I used to think, oh well, there's no film going on really in Ohio. Nobody's really shooting films in Ohio. That's a thing that's changing rapidly. Superman was shot in Cleveland. Um, a lot of
There
people didn't.
was
I know
there,
the first Avengers movie was actually shot in Cleveland and
It was,
Cincinnati. Yeah.
yeah. Um, there's a lot of stuff that's been shot in Cleveland, Cincinnati, and so when this opportunity came up for me to be an executive producer on this film that I'm working on, we went on a location scout yesterday, and it was just it was so refreshing to see, like, okay, I have a producer, I have a writer director, I have a first AD, I have a cinematographer, all, sitting here, we're scouting this location, and I'm able to ask questions and pick their brain and talk about my project, and they're like, oh wait, what, you tell me more about this project. And the more I talked about it, they're like, can we see a script? Like, it's this collaborative nature of people who get excited for other people's work. And it's one of the things that I love about film is that it is such a collaborative process where you're working with so many different people doing so many different things to create this moment in time that once it's on screen, it's never replicated again. Like, that's it. That's the moment in time. And it's just, it's such a beautiful art form to me, and it's why I demanded to put myself back into it, and why I freed up my whole life for it. So
It's funny you mention that because I know. So this movie, The Old Man and the Gun, with Robert Redford and I believe Danny Glover is in it. They shot that like literally right outside of where I work
mhm.
a couple of years ago. Like I got out of the parking garage. I'm walking to the building, and the fucking street is shut down. I'm like, I I didn't get to see anybody, so I didn't get like any of like the 6 degrees of separation. I didn't get none of that, but it was there. I think they might have been filming like a bank heist or some shit. I forget what was actually going on,
That was
but
probably
yeah,
actually happening.
honestly, that's valid.
I mean, it's Ohio, so
Yeah,
we're
I was
we're
gonna say
just enough.
if you ever need somebody to throw a milkshake at the back of somebody's head, I'm your guy.
um, but yeah, no, it's funny you talk about that because I know that's a lot of like what we're doing. Like, I don't know if you've seen like when I talk about it on TikTok. You strolled into one of my lives one time, like the voice acting project that me and him are doing.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, like, and he does a lot of the sound editing for it. Like, and we're like playing like whole ass characters and everything. So it's all audio drama, but I still get what you mean as far as like capturing like all of that and the art artistic feel and everything of it. Me and him have even written a couple like little short episodes and stuff like that.
That's awesome, and listen, I fully support anybody expressing their artistic selves, because the reality is we live in a time now where that's not a normal thing. It's not. Like, we have the arts being completely cut back on by not just this current administration, but even previous ones. And it's unfortunate, because part of being human is being able to tell stories and emotionally connecting with each other through those stories. And so I spent 20 years in finance and sales, doing the whole selling my soul thing. And I got to a point where I can't do this anymore. I need to have that other outlet. So the fact that you guys are doing, your voice acting and your audio dramas, or comedies, or whatever it is that that lane that you step into, embrace it, enjoy it, be yourselves, and just fucking run with it as far as you can. Don't let anyone tell you no, but also know that nobody's coming to save you. Like, that's the first thing I learned, when I'd written like 2 or 3 scripts, and I was like, man, I just need to get this, if I can just get this sold, like, I know that I can get, onto the next thing, because there's the business, the capitalistic side of the entertainment industry. And so I was very fortunate to just meet a lot of like-minded people who were like, no, we can do it this way, and if we can do it on a budget, and we can shoot this way, and this is how we can make it cinematic and save money. And next thing I know, I'm like, well, shit, I got 50 grand I can spend on a film. and
Uh,
and and it's like, all right, let's do this thing. So now it's, all right, let's get the script through, its paces to make sure it's good enough to where I want it to be. Let's talk about casting, let's find locations, let's talk about the line item of what everything's going to cost to shoot. and staying within budget and staying very rigid to that. And, finding the right producers, first AD, cinematographer, gaffer, everything to make sure that like we're making the best thing that we can with the resources we have available to us. Because the reality is when it comes to like short films, there's not a lot of financing out there. You're self-financing, or you're putting it out there online, or you're trying to crowdsource. One of the best films I saw at Independent, and if you can find this short film anywhere, good luck, because short films are hard to find online. But it's called The Release, and the woman who made it is out of New York, and it is the funniest, most heartfelt film I've seen all year. She spent $10,000 to make it.
Wow.
And so the money is not the barrier. It's your creativeness to try and push through that. So one of the things that I'm so happy that I did was quit my job and decide to do this full time. Because it's been so rewarding just in the short time that I have been doing it.
All right, so go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm trying to Google it right now. When was that released?
It was it premiered at Independent.
Okay, so the one I
Yeah, it
found here in
literally just
2014 is not
premiered
it.
two weeks ago.
Okay. Oh, that's why I don't have anything on the internet for it.
Yeah.
So
But Pitt, go ahead.
This is a good way to segue into our catastrophe. So we're gonna start it because I just thought of one with DTBro talking. And what would you say has been the most difficult project? And this is something we can all answer, but we're gonna start with you. What has been the most difficult project that you have ever been a part of to work on?
Right now, it's shooting my film next year. And it's difficult because it is a deeply raw and emotional piece that I wrote about basically my life. Not my entire life, but a section of it. And it's painful. And it forced me to really open up and do some self-examination while writing it. Just writing the script was a painful 6-week process. But it was cathartic as well. And now it's like, all right, now I've got to cut the fat from it. Now I've got to make it something shootable. Now I've got to go in and rewrite things so that things make sense and that, certain rules of certain elements of the film stay cohesive. And then you have to explain this entire vision, not just to actors, but you have to explain it to your cinematographer, your first DP, your script coordinator, your gaffer. Like everyone has a role to play in making that. And then it's like, okay, and then it's taking this really emotional piece that is really, about me and about my life and about the pains and struggle that I went through in a very narrow area, and saying, okay, well, what am I really saying? And breaking it down to the bare minimum there, and then saying, okay, how can I shoot that in a way where we can also say these other things that are also important that are part of the story? It's incredibly difficult. It's draining. It's exhausting. It's anxiety ridden, and I wouldn't do anything else.
And the payoff is going to be so great.
I hope that it is. Yeah.
I was gonna say, just as a shameless plug, I know, like, with you guys doing independent films and stuff like that, if you need any kind of sound design, I know a guy. So
Well,
you need any actors, I know a guy too.
I do need a sound guy when we're done shooting. So sound editing is one of the most important things when it comes to films. A lot of people don't realize it. Colorists are super important. I just did a whole crash course this morning on lenses. And it's the amount of things that anytime a movie gets made, any movie you watch, know that it's a miracle that you're even watching it.
Yeah. I'm just going to chase that tangent for a quick second. It kind of reiterates, and I've talked about this with him before. One of the things I've started to realize as I get older is certain things like the sound production, it makes the movie without you realizing that it makes the movie. Because like you know me, I'm a huge fucking like Tolkien nerd. The Lord of the Rings trilogy has aged so fucking beautifully, partly because of the landscape. They had beautiful cinematography, but the score, the music was so fucking good for the scene and for each individual scene. I've talked about like with I love Christopher Nolan. Interstellar, if Hans Zimmer was not attached to that project, Interstellar would not be the same fucking movie. Like he did so much with that movie. So no, I 100% agree with you. Like the sound design, like it's something you don't realize how big a deal it really is in setting the scene.
Massive.
Yeah, the thing about sound is what a lot of people don't understand. We as creators do, but it's not just the script, the words that are being said that tell the story. It's the ambiance that's happening in the background. It's the music that's underneath. It's just the way things rise and fall during it. And let's use Tolkien as Lord of the Rings as an example. You've got those moments where the music comes in and it just adds to that fear of dread. You're now emotionally involved in it. And then there's that where it starts to swell up and it's like, oh, there's hope. And here comes Aragorn, charging on the field. But one of my favorites, and we're going to go back to the second film, the Charge at Pelennor Fields, where is a third, where they drop the sound and all you have is the sound of the battle. You cannot tell me that was not like breathtaking and exhilarating and had you on the seat just by swelling that music up. It's a red day, a sword day, and and the sun rises. And then they charge, and as they're charging, you got that music, and as soon as they clash, all that music is dropped. And it's just you're in that battle. So the part to being a good sound person is being a good storyteller as well.
Yeah, I mean, and even on a smaller scale, like take Reservoir Dogs. They're all at the beginning of the film. They're sitting around a table in a diner, right? And you hear the din of the diner, but in a regular shot with the sound rolling, that din is going to be a little bit louder. So the actors are going to have to be louder and more perfunctory. I think that's the right word. In their delivery and in their presence and how they shoot the scene. But if you're doing something that's more intimate, like two people sitting in a diner booth, you want to have that din, but the sound needs to be more nascent, more in the background, so that you can have this really emotional moment maybe between two people in a diner booth. And so the sound design isn't just these big operatic scores or when to silence. It's also about when to tone it down to just the right level to match the mood of the scene. And it's something that I think a lot of people take for granted when they watch a film, that they don't listen to that, like they're not keyed into it, but at least the layperson.
Yeah. Another example I was going to mention, about a month, 2 months ago, something like that. Like I actually just like rewatched, the Dark Knight Rises, and I think it was such a smart decision. His first fight with Bane in the sewers, there's no score, there's nothing in the background. It's just the fight, and like you'll hear like water dripping or whatever, but it was such a good decision to have no sound because you have nothing to focus on but how fucking brutal the fight is. And when you're trying to drive home how badly like Batman is getting beat, I'm like, it just hones in your focus. So yeah, that's another place where sound design or lack thereof was fucking incredible.
Yeah.
So we have another catastrophe from our good friend I love 269. I still don't know who this fucking person is. Driving me nuts.
Hey, hang on before you move on to that, because you had asked a little bit ago like what the most difficult project is. He was the only one who answered, so I was going to give
sorry.
mine with
Okay, go ahead.
No. This is what we do. We go on tangents. We go down rabbit holes.
We are good for the neurodivergent or the neurospicy people.
But honestly, so the voice acting project we're doing right now, the shorts specifically, and the reason for that is I'm used to I guess you could call me, I'm a worker bee. I'm used to just like, give me direction, let me know what you want from me. With the shorts, he didn't, it wasn't even his idea. It was his idea.
No, it was my wife's idea.
Okay, well, it came from your house. But so so the parts that I was writing and the last short that we're doing, which I think he's editing right now, I wrote that 100%. So I have this entire vision and everything, like how I'm setting the scene and everything. And like, I've never actually driven the car per se on something like this. So not only that, I'm putting it together, but also like, so one other person, they are voicing another character, and I'm kind of giving them direction on what I wanted. And like, I'm not trying to be a hard ass, but there's a very specific thing that like I wanted a certain emotion. And I'm like, I feel like I'm asking a lot, but I know I'm not. I really know that I'm not, but I feel like I am. So that was a little weird for me, like having to step out of my comfort zone for that one. I fucking loved the performance they gave was fucking incredible. And Pitt, you heard it. They did amazing with that. But this was so out of what I normally do.
Yeah. So I went on an audition. This is probably about 20 years back, for a small independent film. I can't remember the name of the film, but they were casting inmates. It was about being in a prison, and the role the script they handed me was laced with racial slurs and homophobic comments and everything else. And I have to stand in front of a camera and portray this character who pretty much hates everybody that isn't the same color as his skin. And that was probably the most difficult thing for me, because even though I tried to get the audition, but I practically almost broke down in tears, because it's like I can't do this.
Yeah, I know like DiCaprio, for example, he was really uncomfortable shooting that part on Django Unchained.
Yeah.
He did a fucking phenomenal job, but
He did. And what I think is really interesting, what DiCaprio said about that, is that the first time through, like he really he struggled with it, and it was Jamie Foxx who was like, "No, man, it's like this is work. Like I'm not taking this shit personally." And apparently Tarantino went up to him and just gave him like a lashing. And after that, it was like Tarantino so enveloped the role, he barely talked to Jamie Foxx the rest of the shoot.
um, uh, this one comedian, Roy Woods Jr. You might remember he was a big part of the Daily Show for a while.
Mhm.
He should have gotten the anchor job. He really should have. But he did a stand up and he was talking about that, and he's like, y'all want to talk about like, oh, Tom Cruise does his own stunts. Leonardo DiCaprio had to call Jamie Foxx the N-word to his face in front of Samuel L. Jackson. And he's talking about like, for you to have like some of those really powerful roles, especially like in a black story, like you need one heinous fucking white person. Sinners is a good example for that too.
Oh,
like
such a good movie.
I love Sinners. I love it to death. But if they were not comfortable being gross human beings on camera, that movie would not have worked as well.
Yeah.
All right, so I love 269, and this is more directed towards Eli, because they actually say this is more for Eli, but you can answer it too. They actually say, if you were trying to catch someone's attention, and it says in parentheses, to date, have sex with, whatever, what would you do?
I have no fucking clue. Like me and my wife have been together since sophomore year of high school. I haven't had a traditional dating life. So like anytime that, and he knows this for context, we're not monogamous. I'm gonna just put it that way. So whenever I've tried to meet anybody, the shit happens on accident. I'm really in that context. I'm at my best when I'm just having a regular conversation and I can just be myself and be comfortable. If I'm literally trying to catch somebody's attention, I don't fucking know. Like, You know what? Fuck it. I'd probably tell him like, oh, come meet me at like we go to karaoke because then you'll actually get to see me like, be a little bit more outgoing. That's probably the best I could really do.
Sorry, I've got like lemongrass like flying right in front of the camera.
No,
These,
yeah, I've been
this
seeing
is
it.
cigar clip. I just broke my fucking cigar cutter. Fuck me.
um,
Well,
I don't know. I don't I don't try and think about sex first. Like that's probably the biggest part, right? Like if I see somebody who I want to talk to who I think I might be romantically interested in, um, I mean I try and find something to compliment, right? Like not something about their something a choice that they've made. Like oh those earrings, like those are I've never seen anything like that. Can you tell me a little bit about them? Why you chose those? People love to talk about themselves. Um, or I'll do something weird and I'll try and have like a quippy line, like pouring honey into coffee. Um, and I this actually happened a few years back. I was at a coffee shop and I just had a cup of black coffee and I'm pouring honey into it. And the woman next to me, she goes, you can just put cream and sugar in that, right? And I'm like, listen, I'm trying to spiritually evolve past dairy. And by the way, that's made it into a script or two here, but uh, but it was enough to spark a conversation that it ended up being a short term relationship after that. But it's just it's being yourself. And you know being witty and quick doesn't hurt either.
For
yeah,
me, I'm charming as fuck. So that's how I got my wife. And that's how I've got most people before her. It's just I'm charming, but I also have the the best pickup line ever. Be original. Say yes. Everyone else says no. All right, and
yeah.
we got one last catastrophe. I'm not gonna. I can't actually. Well, I probably could read the username on the air, but I'm not going to give him credit for it because I know who it came from. And I'll just be like, good one. Have you ever accidentally posted anything on social media that you should not have?
Um, I do know every time, like when Facebook used to do that thing where they show your camera roll and ask if they want you to post it. There have been times where I was fucking horrified because I didn't realize it was the camera roll and they were asking me. I thought it was already there and I had a fucking heart attack. Uh, but I don't think I've really done. Part of it's like I just don't post that often, honestly, except on TikTok. So, and with TikTok, you have to actually really think about it and everything before you post it. I would say I haven't. Probably the closest thing to it is I'll have like a really fucking egregious typo. Now, that's social media. Now, if we're talking, shut the fuck up. I know exactly what you're thinking about. So, I've told this story on here before, but this is going to be new for you, Dustin. Um, so I'm just going to say this much: if you ever tell a woman that you want her to sit on your face, make sure your autocorrect doesn't change sit into a 4-letter word, because then you have some explaining to do.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. The one time I was trying not to curse and my phone said, "We're gonna curse." Like
I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever posted anything by accident because I'm so self-conscious about anything that I put out there that is reflective of to me that like I will look at it and I'll read it and I'll look at it and I'll read it, or even a TikTok video, I'll watch it 5 or 6 or 7, 10 times over before I hit post. So when it comes to that, like I don't really have those instances where I accidentally posted something I shouldn't have. Just because I'm so incredibly careful. And it's like I have, this woman who I am absolutely adore watching my Instagram feed. So I better not post something that is, you know what I mean? Like it's just that self consciousness that kind of seeps in.
Yeah, no, I get that because like my oldest, she's about to be 20 next month. Jesus Christ. Like she's old enough, like she has social media now. So like you have Facebook, Instagram. So like I'm not gonna post certain things over there. And it's more for her sake than mine. So no, I understand where you're coming from with that 100%. Um, yeah, me personally, I just don't post that often. Again, other than TikTok. So I feel like that's a little bit of an unfair question.
Well, for me, it's like I never posted anything social media that I wasn't supposed to. However, um, so I was trying to be cutesy with the wife and stuff like that, be a little risque, send her a dick pic and stuff like that. And I was trying to do it through the messenger system and didn't realize I clicked on the family chat
Oh no.
and by the time I realized it, I deleted it real quickly, but my sister-in-law saw it.
I could have been worse.
And
Could have
well,
been a lot
I got
worse.
a private message that said, no wonder why she likes you.
At least they had a sense of humor about it.
Yeah.
Well,
That
it makes seeing her very awkward at times, especially when she's standing next to her husband.
so actually I had one I was gonna throw in there, and honestly, Dustin, you'll enjoy this one. So a couple of times we've done this, like I'll throw out, like I like to talk about, a couple of movie remakes, and I'm purposely picking some bad ones, and I said you have to keep one. So it's a reverse version of like one has to go. I actually pulled this off of an IMDb list. So with you talking about movies and everything, this could be a fun conversation. So there's I forget what year it came out. So there's Nicolas Cage's Wicker Man.
Okay,
There's the 1998 Godzilla, the one with Matthew Broderick.
sure.
Um, 2019 Hellboy, the one with David Harbour,
Okay.
or Jason Momoa's Conan the Barbarian. You have to keep one of them.
I haven't seen Jason Momoa's Conan the Barbarian. I haven't seen that one, so I couldn't tell you anything towards that. The Wicker Man with Cage is
Not the bees, man! Not the bees!
so awful. Like, listen, there are a handful of films that are studio quality that I sit and watch. I can't do this anymore. That is one of them. Um, so bad. Uh, and it's not just bad because of the B scene. Like it's the slowness of everything. It's there's a really old film from the 1950s or 60s called Manos Hands of Fate. And the first 7 minutes of the film is a static camera shooting down a road as a car approaches.
That's the
It's the
whole set.
first it's the first 7 minutes of the film. It establishes nothing. But
I
it's
feel like
just
somebody.
watching this car drive a dirty, dusty road. Like Wicker Man is that level of slow.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't do it. I if I had to keep one, I didn't hate Matthew Broderick's Godzilla. I didn't hate it. Like it's clearly an Americanized version. It was clearly a product of its time, but it still had a lot of the undercurrents of, the the nuclear deterrent uh meaning behind the original Godzilla film. Um and the soundtrack was baller as fuck, dude. So it's yeah, if I had to keep one, it would probably be Matthew Broderick's Godzilla.
All right. Pitt, you have any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I was gonna say Godzilla as well. I didn't despise it. I didn't. It's not my favorite movie, but I didn't despise it. And for me, I actually liked the Godzilla redesign. To me, it was more lizard-like, as opposed to what, a 60, 70 foot tall lizard, partially T-Rex iguana, able to walk on its hind legs and stand up straight and fight with little tiny arms. But yeah, the Matthew Broderick Godzilla to me was a great redesign because it actually captured something that was I think would be is more primal and savage. Like to me, that added even though it's highly unrealistic, it added more realism to the possibility.
And
Mhm.
actually, come to think of it, I think it might have been like a post-credit scene. But didn't they find eggs at the end of that movie?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, they could have built off of that one. Um, so once again, I'm gonna be the contrarian with this one. Um, I'm actually picking Momoa's Conan, but I have a reason for this. I have a reason here. First of all, I don't think that we would have gotten him as Khal Drogo if he didn't do that role
It's a fair
as
point.
Conan Barbarian. Because as Conan, as far as the look goes, like it's the same as what Arnold's was, where he's in a fucking loincloth the entire time. So I think that's how HBO was like, ooh, he could be a really good Drogo, and he was. Um, but second of all, I think it's one of those movies where this is my opinion. It's not that it's a good movie, but I don't think it's as bad as people say it is. I think it's that we're comparing it to the original. If you can look at it in a self-contained bubble, I think it's a more watchable movie, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
well,
but yeah, I would say we
you
got
could
Drogo out of it.
you could have easily taken that Conan out and put it with everybody's favorite cunt, Kevin Sorbo of Call the Conqueror.
Oh Jesus fuck!
Okay, I've got one for you guys now.
All right.
What movie have you watched in the last 6 months that has cracked you open
In what way?
emotionally? Like just it brought you tears, it made you fall in love, it made you hurt, it made you ache. Like just a movie in the last 6 months you've seen that just wrecked you.
Wow. What have I seen in the last 6 months?
I can't think of a TV show if we can expand that a little bit.
Yeah, TV show too.
So I actually just finished watching on Netflix Mike Flanagan's The Midnight Club. Have you heard of that? Have you seen it?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it yet.
So if you've liked any of Mike Flanagan's other shows, Haunting of Bly Manor, Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, Fall at House of Usher, which is a phenomenal fucking show. Midnight Mass is another one of his. Basically, the entire movie centers on these young folks who are terminally ill, and they go to a hospice for young people. When I say young, a lot of these people miss their high school prom because of their cancer or whatever their condition was. Um, so off the bat, this is a really dark fucking show, like subject matter. There's one character in here. They introduce her as a real bitch, and it's more that she has a hard exterior because she's just been through so much emotionally. And spoiler alert, it's a hospice. Like when her character dies, that kind of fucked me up a little bit because oh shit, did we hit? Oh, there
He's
you are.
back. He's back.
But when her character dies, that did fuck me up a little bit. And it made it worse because they decided to give her a quote unquote proper funeral. They live by a lake, so they scatter her ashes in the lake. One of the girls there, she's a celloist. And the show is taking place in the 90s. Like one kid is talking about he's a gamer and he's never going to get to play the N64. So that tells you like when this takes place. So the girl, she's a celloist, is playing fucking Green Day Good Riddance for the funeral. And I'm like, God damn it, that hits you right in the feels.
Mm-hmm.
So Pitt, are you good over there?
I lost sound.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Are you still are you not hearing us right?
Fucking sound. One
Yeah.
second.
We
We can always edit that shit out.
All right. Well, let me
Exit and come right back.
all right. I'm gonna go ahead and give you mine.
All right.
It came out, I want to say December of 2024. I just watched it probably about a month ago, and I've watched it 3 times since because it really is this. Uh-oh, did I lose you guys?
I'm
Okay,
still here.
Okay, but I watched it. I've watched it 3 times now, and it's easily the most heartbreaking yet fulfilling movie I've seen in a while. And there's a lot more that I want to see that haven't come out yet. But We Live in Time. on HBO
No sound.
Max.
You still got no sound.
Still no sound?
It looks like it. Hey,
Can you hear me now?
and
One. Whoop. The beauty of editing. Thankfully, this is not live.
honestly, I'm probably gonna let this go simply because me and you are still talking. So if he wants to know what was said, he can go back and look at the recording.
Yeah. But We Live in Time. It's Andrew Garfield, who's my favorite actor.
Really?
I love Andrew Garfield. And Florence Pugh. And it follows the story of this couple as they go through time and in their relationship. And she ends up getting cancer. And like the making the decision of, sure, I can do chemo and I can try and live through this again, or I can just accept that I've got 6, 7 weeks to live, and I'm going to be and take that and enjoy that time with my family. It's beautifully shot. The performances from Garfield and Pugh are just those are just two actors at the top of their game right now. And that's the film I would say that's cracked me open a few times. It's
All
it's
right.
it's such a great movie.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, okay. You can hear
Yeah.
us now?
Yeah. No. Okay.
Yeah.
So whoever has called me from um, 866-914-5806. Fuck you. You fucked my sound. Fucking
They
toll free.
wanted to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Among other things. Yeah. No, the phone was going to be the next thing I did on. So yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. So you missed a lot of his answer, but he was talking about We Live in Time with Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh, which honestly I haven't seen it. I think I did hear about them doing a movie together. Florence Pugh, I have come to really fucking enjoy her as an actress. A lot of she got a lot of widespread fame as Yelena. She's great as Yelena. Like she's hilarious. She's heartfelt, but she like I saw in Midsummer. Holy shit. Like she shows so much range in Midsummer.
No, I did a Florence Pugh binge of her work about a month ago because I had already seen Midsummer before, and then I'd seen We Live in Time. And We Live in Time is such a good movie. And again, Andrew Garfield is my favorite actor on the planet. I think he's just amazing. Cast him as the shark in Jaws if you have to. He's going to give you a great performance. Um, but it, the stuff that she's done, like she was nominated for an Academy Award for Little Women, for Greta Gerwig's Little Women. It's a great film. She took a character, Amy Marsh, who in the book and in every iteration of Little Women is the one everybody hates of the sisters, of the Marsh sisters. And yet you don't hate Amy Marsh in this version because of Pugh's performance. Um, she did another movie called A Good Person. It's a Zach Braff film, which means all of 40 people saw it, and somehow it still made money. And sorry, I do not like Zach Braff. I'm that guy. Um, I call him the T-Mobile guy. But anyway,
Not
he's.
wrong.
But even that, it's like it's
This
a
is about to be
mediocre
fun.
script. It's a mediocre delivery of everything, and she just makes you buy into it and believe it. She there was What was the other one that I saw that she did? There was one more. Can't think of it off the top of my head. Oh, Don't Worry, Darling.
I've heard of that one.
Um, it's again one of those things where it's like you can tell certain members of the cast are just kind of phoning it in. Like Chris Pine is phoning it in. And you sit and you watch her and you go, she's magnetic. Like I don't know what else to say. Like she's one of those really anomalies of acting where you sit there and go, I believe everything she does. She's brilliant in everything she does, and I fucking hate her for it because I wish I could have just an ounce of that talent, just an ounce of it.
Yeah. I know, like, I have still been meaning to go back and watch, like, Oppenheimer, but I know she has a very minimal role in that movie.
Yeah, it's a small role, but it's still, again, she's great in it.
God. All right. Do you
They
got
really
sound
care
now?
about his. They really care about his warranty.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you might have came back just in time
You
here
gotta be
because
fucking kidding me.
are you fuck,
Now I don't hear you.
really? I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah, now I
Jesus
can't
Christ.
hear Eli. It's going back and forth. It's deciding on who it wants to pick up in the headphones. So whoever fucking called me is a fucking twat waffle. They are now the cunt of the week.
I know I had another one I was going to get to, but we've been kind of rambling for a while, which is cool. That's just how we operate. So Pitt, you can't hear me?
Nope. Let me
Can you hear
switch.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, Dustin. I
Okay,
just can't
great.
hear you. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna go grab another set of headphones.
All right, are you still not getting any sound?
Now I'm not getting Dustin again, and I'm on the phone this time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let me
Well,
try
Maybe
this.
it's just StreamYard.
Yeah, I know at one point in time we were trying to record this like on Discord, and that didn't work because you can't. It's hard to do a recording on Discord. You can get an audio but not video, and it's a fucking pain in the ass. But so one thing is you could do, or one thing we can do, just to kind of wrap things. So Dustin had already given his thoughts as far as like his movie, which was We Live in Time. So if you have anything, I mean, I know you can't hear him, but we can both hear you.
That ship has completely fucking sailed with the audio issues. Right now, the thing that's really fucking getting under my skin is this is what's making me cry. Is this fucking podcast right now?
That's
No,
a good answer.
and I think it was episode 4, possibly episode 5. I can't remember which one of Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. I think it was just beautifully done. It was very, very human approach, very emotional, and I really wish I can go into more of the thing, but it was like months have gone and it's like been blown out of my mind. So like in the last 6 months, I don't think I've really seen anything that's cracked me. I mean, I can go in the past to things that cracked me, like one particular scene in Forrest Gump when Forrest is sitting there talking to Jenny and he's at her grave underneath the tree. I mean, that's one thing that always gets to me. Just the pure raw emotion delivered by Tom Hanks in that scene is it's phenomenal, beautiful.
Honestly, I should revisit that movie. I haven't watched it in
Yeah,
years.
there's a for me it's more scenes than just movies themselves or television shows. It's particular scenes. Like, I can watch I can watch a comedy and something actually make me like be like, oh my God, that's so touching. And so it's a combination of the script writing, it's a combination of the lighting, it's a combination of the setting, it's a combination of the sound. It is all of that is driving that emotion. And there's particular scenes that stand out to me more than the actual films do.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I've seen stuff like that, and that's what I was saying to him a little bit ago. Like I was watching Midnight Club, and one of the characters died. Or a better example, when Dan died in Lucifer, that fucked me up. Like that actually fucked me up because and you, Dustin, have you watched that show, Lucifer?
I've seen bits and pieces. I haven't watched the whole thing.
Well, like in Dan's case, like they introduce him, he's just a dickbag. He's an asshole. But over the seasons, you grow to love him, and it was like season 6, I think, where he was killed off.
Yeah.
And then like he comes back, like he's like inhabiting some body and interacts with his daughter, and he tries to apologize to his daughter, like, I'm sorry, I'm not here anymore or anything. His daughter doesn't know it's him. But she's like, oh no, it's okay. Like my dad's in heaven, da da da. And like as a parent, I'm like, fuck. like that hurts. It really does. But the show is otherwise so lighthearted. I actually appreciate that they were able to do that. Like it's usually it's usually not a comedy, but close to it. But the fact that they could actually take it to that level, great on the actors, great on the writers. So I enjoy the versatility of it.
And before we wrap up, and I know I can't hear Dustin, but he can hear me. I wanted to give you the opportunity to let everybody know where they can get in touch with you, things they could check out that you've done, things like that. So here is your 60 seconds to go for a shameless plug.
You can find me on Substack. I'm getting better about posting over there at DTBro 2.0. You can find me on Instagram at DTBro 2.0. You can find me on TikTok, DTBro 2.0. So all of those, same handle. I will probably be posting more information soon about the film that I'm executive producing, and I'll be putting out like little stuff for when I start shooting my film next year. So more to come on all of that.
If you can shoot me those links, I'll add it in the description here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right. Yeah, so we did run a little bit late, but I think it's cool. Good conversation. You're always more than welcome to come back if you want to. This was fun. So, so anybody listening and or watching, because we post this on, Spotify, Spreaker, YouTube, iHeartRadio, all different platforms. Thank you for watching, listening. You can check us out on Facebook again, so we can try to go live over there. Thank you to DT for sticking around. And y'all have a good one.
All right. See you next Tuesday.
See you next.
See you.